Am I ready? I don't know. Am I ready? I don't know. You asked, and I shall deliver it. So here we go.
NBPA voice. Here we go.
Hello, it's Ashley with NBPA Voice coming at you with another Ride the Cyclone Vocal Coach Reacts video. Today I am reacting to, I forget that you guys can see it in the title. I was about to ask you guess what it is, but it is Space Age Batchelor Band. So already reacting to the title, I've been warned by you Cyclones in the comments that this one's cray cray. Possibly crazier than Jane Doe and that it gets a little weird. I am watching to a 8-minute video version of it, so we'll see how that goes and see the kind of crazy. Am I ready? I don't know. Am I ready? I don't know. You asked, and I shall deliver it. So here we go.
Level up.
Ricky Potts,
He's leveling
born
up to
June
something.
5th, Gemini, the dual nature. Favorite ride? The Gravitron. Born with a rare degenerative disease, when Richard lost his power of speech, the Potts family took a vow of silence, usually communicating in a series of strange gestures that only they understood. The only time they interacted with one another was when they drew pictures or fed the cats. They had 14 cats. From the time he was 6 years old and his knees began to buckle, Ricky was treated to the most appalling cruelty humanity can muster: complete indifference. Far from growing bitter, Ricky developed an elaborate playground in his synapses, where he became his own best friend. Ricky Potts, the most imaginative boy in town.
Okay.
Since we're all sharing, I would like to talk about my religion.
That was such a smooth transition.
Hello, I am a prophet from the Solarian star cluster, supreme leader of those that evolved from cats. I'm just a swinging space age Batchelor man. I guess you could say I'm pretty sexy on another planet.
Oh. Who are you right now?
I told you, monkey love drop.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just a swinging space age Batchelor man.
What is this?
You might see before you an ordinary man, an earthly illusion, all a part of the cosmic plan. Yes, long ago they visited those others from outer space. Inform me I'm the chosen one to save the Solarian race.
Okay, so I hate to point this out in the beginning of the video because I don't want you to notice it throughout the whole thing. So there's different performers, and on Broadway we're trained to see, to breathe in certain different ways. He has to take quick, fast breaths. Therefore, he's getting shallow breaths. So he's going, you can hear his breathing pretty often throughout the song. Kind of pay attention, you'll notice it. I can hear that it's a little bit shallow because it is so quick. So he's only filling up a portion of his tank. So instead of, I'm getting, it could, maybe it's because it's really loud and dramatic. And once I say it, you're gonna notice it, and I apologize for that, but I couldn't not say anything because it's kind of my job here. That is one thing I would want to work on with him as a performer if this wasn't purposeful for some reason, but I can't see the purpose right now. Maybe he's just so excited. Could be, it could be that. But if it's not purposeful and strategic in that manner, it's not a good choice. In my personal opinion. I would love to hear more air, but I mean, he's doing great. I want to also notate that his posture, his physique is very still and not, even though he's excited and being really dramatic, it's still kind of a slow, controlled dramatic. So he isn't expelling a ton of air all at once. He's able to kind of control it, so it might not be that big of a deal. But I'm liking it. I like the vibes. Maybe I like being weird. We'll see. That's why I'm watching Ride the Cyclone, right?
It's true. Listen.
Ricky, we are a distant galaxy, a galaxy greatly in need of your groove, your kinkomatic powers.
I love the robot.
Yes, we need your freaktastic seed.
They took me then to their daughter's realm, the land of the kitty cat store. I know you've heard the legend of the sexy cat women from Zola.
I love it.
Make love to me, Ricky. Where'd you save Hot Galaxy?
What would you do in my place? A mere mortal man, the fate of a galaxy before you. Millions of lives in your hand, the holy daughters of the realm, all hungry for
It's a
my
character choice, the breathing.
You'll never guess the role I
The
play.
lights.
Swearing in history, I'm just a swinging, spacey Batchelor man. Let's dance,
Again,
kiddies.
I gotta watch that.
And the holy daughters of the realm, all hungry for my chi. You'll never guess the role I play. Swearing in history, I'm just a swinging, spacey Batchelor man. Let's dance.
Space. Notice he changes his vowel. Space. Spage. I'm just making up words. That's what I do. I'm just here for you guys to make up words. Notice the vowel modification. He changes the vowel in order to get spay. So I want you guys to say the word a. Notice kind of where it is, spay. And then he goes into an E. E is much more forward. So he's trying to establish before the great belt. He's trying to establish a forward tone, and then he's going to brighten that up. Let's watch that one more time.
I play, swearing in history. I'm just a swinging, spacey Batchelor man. Let's dance, kitties.
Oh, and then he was trying to hurry up. That's really tricky. He had to be strategic about when he cut off because he has a quick, let's dance, kitties. He's about to go change or something. Maybe not change. I bet he's about to go change. He's saying, let's dance, kitties. But they either quickly got to get in position, or he's got to do a quick change, or something's about to happen here. So because I can tell because he had to hurry up and say, let's dance, kitties, and then he's going off. So he had to quickly cut that off. I wish that was a little bit cleaner, but I have a feeling that he rushed that for a reason. I love it. Yes, there's a distraction. Oh, okay, so he's just being a shadow dancer. He is changing, look at him. Maybe he's about to change, but... This is the shadow effect is really cool.
It gets weird now.
At least he warned us.
Ricky, you're playing with our daughters. You're our hero.
And at least he's
our
self-aware.
saving grace.
Anybody else doing this right now with me?
Challenge for Zolaria to
I
face.
feel like we're doing the anthem.
For they're at war with K9.
Rumtum is here. It's Rumtum Tiger.
Count.
Hold on. I'm waiting for you guys because I know y'all multiple people warned me in the comments that this one gets a little, like, really weird. And so I'm waiting for the moment where I can't handle it.
But now there is a new challenge for Zolaria to face.
For they're at war with K9. Count Dogulus.
Son of a bitch!
The generals are all standing by.
Ricky, should we pull the switch?
Oh my goodness, what have I gotten myself into? I mean, why are they asking me? I'm a lover, not a fighter. I thought I told them I'm just a swinging, spacey.
Spay. See how he's playing with his vowels there? Space, Batchelor man. He's also giving me Elton John, David Bowie. He's reminding me a lot of David Bowie and Rum Tum Tiger, but I've said that already. Just want you to know that dude reminds me of Rum Tum Tiger from Cats. It's reminding me of 80s rock. Elton John, Billy Joel, David Bowie, but I'm really enjoying it. So, but I know that each character has its own genre. So this to me is reading, that's what it's reading me. Dun, 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 dun. Pressure.
Hey, Batchelor man! So I told them, I am just a man, a space age
Elton
man.
John.
That's all I am, but
And Billy Joel here.
I wanna hold your hand, all your hands, as we make love tonight. I have no desire to rule the galaxy, or to hold you close, that's enough for me. Making love in zero gravity.
Key change. Again, notice through that key change, he's modifying, he's doing vowel modifications.
Zero gravity.
And the Y. That's enough for me. And then he switches to a Y. Yeah. Yeah, notice that Y is helping trigger his voice forward so he can transition into the next key. You want to keep your voice locked out here. Yeah, it's enough for me. Yeah, 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 yeah. He's kind of had this pull. Yeah, yeah. That was a dramatic version of it to make my point, but listen again and you'll hear it.
For me, making love in zero gravity. Let's get real, space babies. I'm gonna give you the cliff notes for every prophet that ever lived. Life is hard enough without making up reasons to be dicks to each other. So friends, let's take care of each other. All colors, creeds, and sexual needs. Live and let live. Love and let love. For love is the closest you can come to another person, because it's the closest you can come to being another person.
Not quite up on top of it, but he got there. That's funny. That was funny. Yo! Notice that he didn't quite make the pitch, but then he got up there, and it wasn't purposeful. You would know it was purposeful if he held it longer and for an appropriate amount of time, meaning not the note, but the transition. If it was meant to be, yeah! Let's listen one more time so I can break that down for you. So if this were me and I was training him, I would say, really, that needs to be the prep work for this high note that you're about to sing. Loving you, loving me. It needs to be a little bit of There needs to be a little bit of right there so you can get ready, like, oh, here I go, and it needs to be down low. But he has a tendency to loving you, loving me. He keeps it all here instead of loving you, loving me. Do you hear the difference? Loving you, loving me, loving you, loving me. There's a little bit more weight. You have to remember that your voice is a physical thing. It's sound waves. So there's a way to add weight to the voice. And if you have too much weight, however, then you'll have a hard time transitioning upward. So maybe that is why he's keeping it upright. Loving you, loving me. He's keeping this, but I think just adding a little bit you can add both. There needs to be a balance. I needed a little bit more support from him. I mean, hello, but he's being impressive and he's really good. So I'm not saying that, but I want to break that down again. Break that down again.
Because it's the closest you can come to being another person.
Vocal remote control, check out the microphone. Set it free! It's like he's using the microphone to pull his voice out. Yeah! He's also shaking he's performing, right? So, but he's also performing in a way that he can kind of control his voice, his physique, and the things that he's doing with his physical body as he's performing is helping him hit these notes. Notice as he leans into the stage as well to gain a little bit more, to get some grounding and to gain a little bit more support. And there was a little bit of a scream up there too. So when we don't feel like we have enough support up there, we tend to try to scream. Yeah! And you can kind of, did you hear that? How I kind of added not a scream, it's not a growl, maybe a little bit of a growl, a really high growl. So it kind of sounds like a scream growl, a scrowl. It's a term that I've just made up, a scrowl. He scrowled up there. Let's listen to the scrowl. He goes down for more support. Vibrato. So he starts with the straight tone. He establishes it. He lost it for just a second, which is why that scrowl came in. And then he landed right back into it and he found it. And then he slowly started coming back up. Notice he stayed down there for a second. And I feel like he was there. He's like, establish. Yeah! Once he established a nice healthy scream up there, or a scrowl, then he was able to really allow his vibrato to come out healthily and sound really good. Yo! And he had a wow to get the period at the end of the phrase.
And then peace was restored. I guess that's what happens when you're swinging spacey Batchelor man. So
change
I
again?
back to the earth to show you.
We went back down. Whoa. Typically you can hear and you can anticipate when a key change is about to happen. You hear the build up to it. So in music theory, you typically have about a measure or two where the music is prepping you for that key change. They might have some accidentals, some sharps or flats, some notes that aren't in the previous key but are in the newer key coming up, just to kind of hint that something's about to change. There was no, because the music I didn't hear it, again, that was just the first time, but there was no hint of a key change coming back down. So with that being the case, he was it. You would have to sing that same phrase over and over and over again, especially when it's gotta be harder because he sung that phrase, Spage, Batchelor man.
Batchelor man. So I went back to
That's so
to
hard.
show you the way to lead
Yes,
the
sir.
people to
I
a
love it.
brighter day. We can sing the whole galaxy with love from the heart and sexy cat ladies. That's what
We love.
Yes, I went back to this book with my
He's feeling himself right now.
ladies and
He's got so much support.
Cause I'm a swinger, space Batchelor man now.
Okay, so that was my reaction to Space Age Batchelor man. It's funny because now at the beginning of the video, I could not even sing that, but now I can't even say Space Age Batchelor man quickly or like that without having to sing it. So he was very grounded towards the end. There was a lot going on with that song. I broke down what I thought was important to break down. I really enjoyed watching him. His character choices were interesting, and I want you to also notice that each of these character choices modified their vocal tones and how they're singing. That did get a little weird, but I've directed Cats and Spamalot, which the hip, well, I don't know if it's in Spamalot, but in the version we did, there was tons of hip thrusting. It didn't get too weird, and I guess because I've been in the theater world, but I can see where to some normies that might be a little weird. But I'm totally on board for the weird. I love it. And I really enjoyed watching his performance of Spage Batchelor man. There you go. Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this Vocal Coach Reacts video to Ride the Cyclone's Space Age the Batchelor Man. The Space Age Batchelor Man. Space Age Batchelor Man. I told you, because I'm trying so hard. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. It is coming soon. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping until the ride is over. And I'll see you guys next time. Sing with you soon. Bye.